Howdy ho, neighborinos. We're here today for the APA playoffs game. Round 1 of playoffs going up against the Immunity Idols, aka Mountaih. Now, first of all, this is going to be post-com, so if you don't want to watch this, I get it, but also, fuck you a little bit. But yeah, I kind of get it, you know. But I figured since we're doing post-com, I'll go ahead and do a little bit of a team builder. In a playoff game, I think it makes sense to want a little bit more of a look at what I'm bringing and why I'm bringing it, you know? Also, this is post-com because at the day I recorded this, I wasn't feeling great. I was like, all right, I'll just post-com it. It's also a pretty important game, so I didn't want like a bunch of stuff happening at the same time. So I was like, I'll just record it later when I'm feeling better. And literally every day since then, I have felt worse than when I recorded this. So I should have just fucking live calmed it. Should have just been an adult. But here we are. Now I've got some sort of cold or flu or something. We're in the later stages of it. I'm almost done being sick. You know when you can feel yourself almost being done, like you blow your nose and you get that like pocket of air where you're like, oh, release, you know, like finally there's oxygen in me. But still look and feel and sound like shit. So we just won't do any webcam action. We'll just jump right in. I say that as I've been talking about myself for 3 minutes now, whatever. But we're going up against Mountaih. You can see he's got Coco, Memo, Corviknight, Hawlucha, Nihilego, Gastrodon, Chandelure, Thwackey, Boofles, Azelf, and Guzzlord. It's oddly similar to our Week 12 matchup versus T-Row. He also had Coco. Nihilego, and a couple of the other ones, I think. He also had Piloswine over Mamo. So he had a little bit more of a defensive backbone, whereas Mountaih has definitely the offensive version. He's got the older brother who's pissed off in the angsty teen phase. You know, fuck you, mom. You don't know what I'm doing. He's got Mamo. So, you guys know me, right? You've been on this channel time and time again. I don't like running defense anymore. It's just not fun for me. I don't play it well. I always assume they're going to predict that I'm going to go into my defense and click a better button. But unfortunately, versus this team, I really have no choice but to run full-on piece of shit Colberberry Rest Talk Mesprit. Now, at least with this Rest Talk, we have momentum. We got a Psychic move. It's kind of nice, actually. Psychic hits everything on his team neutrally, barring the Corviknight and the Corviknight and the Azelf, and then it doesn't affect the Guzzlord. However, the Corviknight, getting momentum on that and getting to bring out our fire or our electric type is really nice. And then also, Azelf and Guzzlord are weak to the U-turn. So super effective damage on those things. Pretty nice. So, we are Colbert just because I do not switch into Memo. Like, if Memo clicks the correct button, I lose a Pokemon every single time if I don't have this very Mesprit. Mesprit with the Colberberry, that way we can take a knockoff, because knockoff into just like Icicle Crash, if he's like Adamant Life Orb, bonks the shit out of us, and we can't rest off that damage. So that way we can at least switch in, rest up, do some things, do some stuff, potentially make him take some Life Orb recoil. This also helps versus Hawlucha, which hopefully just doesn't come, because if Hawlucha is there, that does put a lot more pressure on this to deal with the Mamo and the Lucha. However, if he doesn't bring the Hawlucha, if he does bring the Lucha, that means he has one less slot for another threat, you know. So while that is more pressure on Mesprit, that takes pressure off of something else, depending on what it is. I don't really know what he's going to bring. I think we see Coco for sure. I think we see the top 3 for sure skis. Coco, Mamo, Corviknight for sure. I think we either see Nihilego or Gastrodon. Definitely not both. And then the last 2 could be a toss-up. In Mox, I played, I think, versus every other Pokemon aside from Bouffalant or Thwackey at one point or another. But also, speaking of Mox, shout out to CB Marcus, shout out to Just Lucas, and shout out to Trexo for all helping me very much. We had a little Mox sesh. I changed a bunch of stuff on the team, and by the end of it, I was feeling really good about this. So thank you to all those guys, absolute goats, and it was really helpful. So that's Mesprit, and let's get into Raikou here. So obviously, we're going to need something that isn't weak to Electric or Fairy. Garchomp is a decent Coco switch-in once, but not 2 times for sure. So we got Raikou here with the Thunderbolt, Aura Spirit, Bulldoze, and Toxic. Pretty funny set. Bulldoze just because it helps deal with the Nihilego. We can also lower the speed of Taco Coco potentially, so that Garchomp can just take it out with an Earthquake and not have to really deal with it too much. Or Sphere is going to hit the Mamoswine, and it sucks because Raikou is a legendary Pokemon. They kind of left the coverage moves of the legendary Pokemon alone, right? Like, yeah, he got Aura Sphere, he got Scald, but they didn't take anything away. Like, when Hidden Power left, Jolteon was fucking useless. But Raikou still can't get a Grass type move. There's no Hidden Power Grass. He didn't get Grass Knot. He's the one Electric type that I thought would be worthy of Grass Knot, and they just didn't give him fucking Grass Knot. So if Gastrodon comes, I gotta just click Toxic and hope for the best, dude. So that's real fun. Thanks, Game Freak. You know? But we are just I definitely want to speed tie the Azelf as well, so we're just max HP. On top of that, didn't really want to get too crazy with the investment, but we are just max HP, max speed. Thunderbolt Aura Sphere looks pretty nice. It would also be nice to have momentum, but this is probably going to be my lead. I think in like 90% of situations, this is my lead. I also need to preserve health on this. So if I do lead versus, you know, just a standard lead Azelf, and I don't have to take damage, that would be super nice. So like if I go for a Thunderbolt and they just get up Stealth Rocks, he'll be at about half, and I can just switch out on the next turn and figure something else out, you know. But might need to keep this healthy to take a hit from Hawlucha. We also can't let that get the +2 or we are in troubish. But the max HP definitely helps out versus a lot of stuff. Also helps it switch in on Corviknight a few times, take some body presses, take some U-turns, not really care too much. Next, we have potentially the MVP of this game, dude. Flamethrower, Shadow Ball, Solar Beam, Flame Charge, Blacephalon, dude. Fucking shout out to Mr. Wyatt. I'm going to see him in less than a month. It's my fucking boy. So, if you look at his team, dude, with a Flame Charge up, and once I start racking up some boosts, nothing stands in the way of this man. Absolutely nothing. Except for the fact that there's a Guzzlord on the team. I got bodied so hard in a mock by that fucking Guzzlord, I will never disrespect it ever again. So, I kind of went a little bit more offensive with the rest of the team to help deal with Guzzlord, because this absolutely can win the game with a Flame Charge up, and if I start racking up boosts. However, Guzzlord is an issue. And then also, Nihilego, I do need a couple boosts before I can beat that thing. But Psyshock is obvious. Also, if Mountaih were to notice that this is very similar to my previous matchup, he could just look at my team and be like, oh, he brought Flame Charge Psyshock. So this time I'm bringing Solar Beam because I'm expecting Gastrodon over the Nihilego. But hopefully that's what happens, or I'm going to look like a real fucking goof, you know? And ain't nobody, unless you're being intentionally goofy, ain't nobody trying to look like a real fucking goof, you know? But you guys know I hate Corviknight more than anything in this world. Corviknight and Celesteela are just my least favorite Pokemon of all time. They always seem to beat every team that I draft, and I don't change the way that I draft after I lose to them. I just go, wow, that sucks. Hopefully I don't play them next season, you know? So when I play a Corviknight or a Celesteela, you gotta bring your Electric and Fire type. You have to, or they will not die, and I hate it here. So hopefully this can put in some work. We don't have Boots, which is unfortunate if rocks go up. He has plenty of free switches with Memo to get rocks up. If Nihilego comes, it can get up a rock and a T-Spike and kind of ruin my day. Sash Lead Azelf can also get up rocks, and that will not be fun. Any Lead Azelf can get up rocks, actually, but that just guarantees, you know. So that's going to be Blacephalon. If we can get a Flame Charge, if I can come in versus something that isn't very boosted, that isn't very healthy, rather, and I can get a Flame Charge up on it, that will reveal that we aren't choiced, but that'll give us the boost. Depending on the situation, maybe I can do something like that. Also, a way that I had been playing this was to kind of just use it like a Scarf. Come in versus Corviknight, just click Flamethrower, just click Shadow Ball, whatever. Gastrodon comes in. If I see lefties, that means it will not live the Solar Beam. I can click the button versus that. Just start racking up some fucking kills, boys. So we're going to hope for the best. That also really hurt my throat doing that just now. I hate it here. Next, we got Garchomp. What's up, Roselli Berry? SD, EQ, Fire Fang, Scale Shot. So once again, we're in the Memo versus... in the Garchomp versus Coco / Ground and Ice type, we're going full big dick offensive. I feel like lowering my defense with Scale Shot isn't really that terrible, because I'm always revenged by Ice Shard anyways. I'm always revenged by Grassy Glide anyways. Like, because you don't really set up for free with this. I don't think this is going to get a lot of free turns, so I do need that Roselli Berry to make sure that I can take a hit from the Coco whenever I need be. So, we're just going big dick offensive. If there's a table, I'll find it and I'll put it on it, dude. and Firefang obviously for the Corviknight. I think with this team, I should be able to get momentum versus the Corviknight and get either a big hit off on it or a big hit off on whatever the answer is to the things that force out the Corviknight. So after a Corviknight switch in or two, I don't think he's going to have any more answers, and I think he's going to have to just take the hit with Corviknight. But I think that'll take a switch in or two to be able to do, if that makes sense. I don't actually know. I said the words, and they were good sentences, but here we are, and I don't know anymore. Comment question down below. Did that make any fucking sense? Find out this time on Shaden Gets a Little Too Ballsy. So, Garchomp can win this game if I get a boost. It sucks versus how, like, I eat one versus Hawlucha, but I can't do the most to it. So hopefully that's not a situation that has to happen. And but it's Garchomp, dude. I'm really glad I got to use it in this draft. It's been so much fun to use. It do be clicking them buttons, and we get to run Adamant this game, which is amazing. Next, we got Choice Banded Scizor. Like I said, after the whole Guzzlord ordeal, I definitely needed some more offensive power. And when I put Choice Banded Scizor on the team, I didn't have Conk on the team yet. I think I was still running I think it was either Serena or Marowak. I don't remember. Shout out Marowak, though. Fucking super underrated 1-point ground. But BP, U-turn, superpower knockoff. I have to predict correctly when I get this guy in. I don't want to be U-turning versus a Flame Body Chandelure. That'll ruin your whole day. Yeah, momentum's cool, but also getting burned, dude, not fun. So if that is going to be a switch in, I need to click knockoff on that. I think just the first time I'm in with this, if Shandy's on the team, I have to click knockoff the first time. Superpower is pretty nice to get a decent amount versus the Corviknight. Banded superpower is going to do a lot. But if he's just like Fizdef, I'm only going to do like 35%, which isn't a lot. And with the amount of physical attackers I have, I could easily see him being Helmet. So I'll probably take close to the amount of damage he's going to take. You know, like, yeah, he's going to take 30, but I'm taking 16, dude. So, like, who's the real winner? And then I'm forced out because I'm obviously banded, and I'm -1/-1. But in the late game, Coco, Mamo, Lucha, Nihilego, all those kind of things. Nobody wants to just be in versus Banded Bullet Punch in the late game, and that's kind of what I'm going for here. Hopefully we can put enough pressure on the rest of his team to put everything in range. We can click some Bullet Punch buttons. Speed, good, fire, you know? So hopefully we can do all that. And that's kind of another thing. If Azelf is the lead, I do need to make sure that its dash is broken, because if it's at about, I think obviously it's an Azelf, and it runs mixed a lot, so it could potentially be hasty. Bullet Punch is going to do a lot to it, so I need to make sure it's taking at least a little bit of chip, get that stash broken, get whatever is done to it, so that way I can take it out with a late game Bullet Punch. Last but not least, we got Conk, and Conk just going to do Conk things, man. Close combat, Mach Punch, Thunder Punch, Earthquake. Conk takes pretty much any hit from anything on this team and fires back with Guts boosted attack and just fucking nabs one, dude. Conk is the ultimate 1v1 trade if I've got my Flame Orb already, but with the momentum I have on my team, with the double U-turn, I said with the momentum on my team like I have momentum on my Raikou, but I do have a couple momentum boys, and they'll be hitting the field pretty often, so I can potentially get this guy in. So we can, if we can get a burn going, Butts goosted, dude. Dude, Butts goosted close combat's doing so much. Dude, I'm being a real silly Butts Goose right now. Oh my god. But CC absolutely nails one. You think Coco is a fairy type? Not after it takes a close combat, it's not, because it's going to be in Mach Punch range, dude. Every single thing on this team will die. We have the Earthquake. It is unfortunate because there could be a potential Thwacky, but whatever, we got to go for it. I don't want knockoff. I would rather have Thunder Punch Earthquake, so hopefully that will do the thing. And it's Conk, dude. What else can you really say? It just absolutely nabs one. Being able to come in and revenge stuff like Mamoswine is super nice and not have to choice ourselves into Bullet Punch. So that's real cool. And then also Guzzlord is such a huge threat. If it comes, this is kind of my switch into it because, you know, it gets good coverage. So I can't really just be throwing in Scizor all willy-nilly, you know. But one thing I did find out is if it's special, Conk can kind of deal with it. If it's physical with knockoff, Mesprit can actually deal with it with the Colbur. He doesn't do, even if he's like Adamant Max, he's not doing enough to 2-hit KO me. I can rest, I can get U-turn momentum, I can do things and stuff. So that's pretty fun. But we're playing against the #1 draft league player, I think, of just the last several years. He just keeps winning, dude. So we have to bring our A game. We have to play really well. We have to get 50-50s right. We have to bring the correct team, which I think I did. once again, with help from various mocks from Lucas, Trexo, and CB. Once again, thank you to all you guys. You're the fucking goats. I think they knew this was important to me, and I'm playing fucking Mountaih, so like they were like, let's fucking help this guy out. He's fucking having a tough time over here. So we got him. But that's going to be the team builder. I think I've been talking for, 45 minutes now? So let's get into the battle, perhaps. Okay, and here we are with the battle versus Mountaih. You can see he brought Coco, Mamo, Shandy, Azilf, Gastro, and Corviknight, so at least we were correct that he wasn't going to bring that Nihilego. Now, what this means is, Minamoto is 100% my lead. I'm going to think about it. I'm writing down his team and stuff, obviously, and this is going to be at 2x speed, so at least we won't have to sit here for 40 minutes while I post-com this, you know? But, everything looks to be kind of what we were expecting. The Shandy is something that I wasn't 100% sure of, but we knew the top 3 were coming. We knew either Gastro or Nihilego was coming, and then, I think it was going to be between Guzzlord, Azelf, and Shandy, so that's cool. So we're going to lead our Raikou, young Minamoto, and we'll see what he wants to lead with, you know? He has a couple leads. So he does lead Coco, which is interesting. Not interesting in like a negative way, but it just, you know, lets us know a thing or two, you know? So he's going to lead with that, and I'm just going to click Toxic. U-turn into Gastrodon is the easiest play of this man's life. He knows that this thing didn't get blessed with the grass coverage, dude. So he can go right on into Gastrodon, get a Toxic on, it's going to be real, real nice. Getting any amount of chip on this thing to let me know if he's lefties or Rendo is super cool. He avoids the Toxic. Turn 1, we're doing great! Turn 1, dude, we're doing great. Fantastic. So, that doesn't really change my play. I have to go into Conk here. I can take a Scald, I can take an Earth Power, I can take Toxic, whatever he wants to go for. He does just Scald me. And what's funny is he gets the Scald burn, which is great because I'm Flame Orb, but also I wouldn't have had to take that round of Flame Orb chip if he didn't get the burn. So it's actually really funny because for a second I was like, is that because But then I took the chip and I was like, okay, so he actually got it there, nice. So, got the dodge turn 1, and then he got the burn turn 2. That Gastrodon is insane, dude. And we still don't know if he's lefties or Rendo, which is unfortunate. Now, Conk bonks the absolute fuck out of this Corviknight. Nothing, my dick's hard right now watching it back, dude. Nothing makes me happier than watching a Corviknight be close to death. So, if he wants to keep this around as for more helmet chip, he definitely can, because Mach Punch definitely takes this thing out. So, Conk, after taking this amount of chip, doesn't actually matter to me anymore. We always have Scizor for revenging stuff. So, I'm going to stay in and click Earthquake. That covers him switching out into Chandelure on the map, the Mach Punch. That covers him roosting, and that covers him staying in and taking more damage, because this is actually the perfect situation for old Mr. Wyatt Blacephalon here, because now he is at 1 HP probably. It would have been real shitty if he would have died to Recoil, but we actually didn't have HP investment, so it's actually, you know what, big brain me. So, now we can Shadow Ball. I really, really, really wanted to Flame Charge there. However, we would have taken Rocky Helmet Chip, and we would have revealed ourselves to not be choiced, which means he could have dealt with us in a couple different ways. Now he's going to go Gastro, thinking we are just either Choice Specs or Choice Scarf. I would assume Scarf, just based on the rest of my team. But he's going to go Gastro. I'm at +1. We didn't see if he's Rendo or lefties, which is unfortunate because it made this decision a little bit harder. But I'm clicking it, dude. This is what it's here for. I'm clicking my fucking button. If he wants to scout, he can. We see no Rendo. He would have had to have been max Spadef to live anyways because we're at +1. But this thing goes down. Corviknight down. Gastronot? Hello? Gastrodon is down. That's so nice for our offensive team because 2 of the things that walled our shit are now dead. We did lose our Conk. We did reveal some information on Raikou, but it's not the worst. Now Azelf's going to come in. He could just be Sash and live any hit we want to go for. He could also be Life Orb and kill us with any attack. But if he's not Life Orb, we live here. So I don't actually switch in very well to anything. Like, no matter what if I'm predicting a Psychic move, I go into Scizor, then he just fire moves and kills me. You know what I mean? And he's not in range of a Bullet Punch yet. So we do just have to stay in. He does reveal to be Life Orb. That's the only way he killed us there. So that's unfortunate. If I could have got a Flame Charge up, I would have probably swept the rest of his team. No, you know what? I would have lived him like 7, so he could have Ice Sharded me. But now we know he's Life Orb. I can go into Minamoto. I can get some damage off on this guy. I can just go off a Thunderbolt. If he does want to go into Mamoswine, that is one of the few things left on his team that I do have switch-ins for. So that's fine with me. Excuse me, sorry, still dying over here. Yeah, if he doesn't want to do that, that's fine. I need water. I was drinking coffee. I gotta switch to water now. My throat's killing me. But it's 4-4. He's gonna withdraw. He's gonna go out into the Mammoth Swine. T-Bolt does not hit him. Unfortunate. But we'll get a little bit of lefties back, so that's cool. Like I said, we have a switch into this. It's NBD. Don't really give a heck. And we can take the damage. We can get some U-turn momentum. We can get Psychic Chip off on something. We can do whatever we need to do, you know? I could also just stay in and click Aura Sphere if I really wanted to, but I am going to switch out. Go into Mesprit. This man knows. He's the #1 player for a reason. He knows a thing or two about stuff. This covers the Aura Sphere play. This also covers the switch out. What a play. This man is the best to ever do it, dude. So, now he's in with this. I really only have one switch in at this point. And since, excuse me, sorry, I'm telling you. This shit sucks, man. But we can take a Shadow Ball, no problem. I can get a big Thunderbolt off. Try to put this thing in range of everything else on my team. I think about Bulldozing, expecting the Coco to come back in, but that's not really a good play. So I will just T-Bolt. Do about half to this guy. See what he wants to do. He does just stay in. He clicks Overheat. That's gonna... Hey, so that's gonna kill us. He's gonna eject pack out. If you guys know me, I love me some momentum. Eject pack is one of my favorite items to ever run on a Pokemon. It's so cool. So I gotta give him respect. Not only is he playing really well, he's prepped fun and cool too. So like, what's not to love, you know? He's gonna go back into Coco. I'm gonna go Chomp. See if I can bluff a Scarf. Maybe we can get him to switch out. I'm just gonna click Earthquake. Although if he was expecting Scarf, he could just go Azelf here, which would be annoying, but what else, man? We're Roselli. We eat a Gleam. I'm about to blow my nose, so like, trigger warning. Yeah, we got fucking double berries on the side of the field, dude. We're double berries and cream right now. And I can potentially live another one. If that was a high roll Gleam from a not fully invested Coco, I can potentially live another one. So I do want to save this. Don't really feel like switching out. I mean, I don't really feel like taking that damage if I don't have to right now. We'll take the Gleam damage. He gets a crit, which is unfortunate. Because now not only did he dodge the Toxic, now he's got the crit, which could potentially put me in range of a T-Bolt, depending on his investment. If he even fucking has the shit. And I can just Bullet Punch here and I can kill him, but he obviously does have the Shandy in the back. So it's not a 50-50, but it is kind of a tough turn. And like I said, I think I have to click Knockoff when Scissor's in the first time, because if I get burned, it's so unfortunate. He, however, swings a big, massive PP, puts it on... He came to my house and put it on my table, dude. He didn't even use his own table. He goes for the Volt Switch, which basically shows him that I either click U-turn or not Bullet Punch. So we can go into Mammoth Swine pretty freely. I'm going to get a Choice Band knockoff on this guy. Pretty nice. Now I'm going right back into Mesprit. Don't really give a yuck. I'm clicking it. He's going to know I'm banded by that damage. I don't think I've clicked an actual button with Scizor yet. So now he's going to know that we are banded. I could stay in and click it again if I'm expecting another double. I decide against that. I'm just going to go Mesprit. That's, like I said, the one thing we have for this. So that's real cool. He goes for Icicle Crash and he misses, which is unfortunate. He's no longer banded, so we take these no problem. We're literally max Vizdef. So, expecting him to want to switch out and preserve this, because Ice Shard is a thing. A U-turn, and he misses. So he gets 2 misses in a row, which is insane. And also, on that second miss, he would have for sure flinched there. That's how Icicle Crash works, dude. You don't miss and then not flinch on the next turn. That's unfortunate. I do apologize for that. We have been getting a little bit of hacks, but I think 2 misses in a row definitely trumps that. So that's unfortunate. But we take them, you know? So we can just Bullet Punch here and take out the Mamo. If he goes hard Shandy on this and gets the Flame Body, I hate it here. But we do just take out the Mamo. Now he gets free Shandy. Like when Lil Wayne was in jail and everybody made the t-shirts that said Free Wheezy. I had a Free Wheezy t-shirt, fun fact. But at this point, Mammo is a non-issue because it is dead. That boy's in the Shadow Realm. I can just sack my Mesprit. Obviously, he will be able to click Shadow Ball, whatever he wants to fucking click here. And that's going to die. Funny that we eat one. Shout out max HP. I'm just going to click Psychic. If he stays in with this, I can Scale Shot versus it and potentially win the game. That will be a 50-50 because he does have Coco in the back. But no matter what he goes into here, I get free damage on it. He does go Azelf, and the Psychic damage plus the Life Orb chip on the next turn are going to put this thing in Bullet Punch range, so that works for me. Like, no matter what happened there, we gained something out of the turn, so I was pretty cool with that. I'm going to rest, just in case he does want to go for something that doesn't kill me. Maybe he wants to double or something, I don't know. Now he's in Bullet Punch range, real cool. Real cool. We gotta go Scizor here. I have no other play than Bullet Punch. We're down 2-3. I gotta kill this thing, and then Chandelure gets to come in. And now here's where the real dick on table starts. I don't really like to pause in these games, but we're gonna pause here. He goes in to Chandelure. He's got Shandy and Coco. I have Scizor and Garchomp. If he kills me right here, I can go for Scale Shot versus this and potentially win the game. If that happens, he can hard switch into Coco, expecting me to go for the Scale Shot and, you know, obviously eat that. He's immune. But then if I had clicked Earthquake that turn, it's a whole big thing. Excuse me, sorry. So this is essentially a vortex of 50-50s. If he predicts me once again, which he's been doing all game, he's been doing a great job. I've been playing kind of passively, but I've also been playing to my win con in the late game here of Scizor. So I can switch out into Garchomp and I can eat one, no problem. And then I can do the thing. I can also stay in and click Bullet Punch here if I'm expecting him to pull the double. He's doubled on me 2 times now, 1 time. He's pulled doubles and he's played well. So, like, he knows what's going on. So, if I stay in a Bullet Punch here, which look at me hovering, dude. I want to. I've spent 30 seconds hovering over this fucking Bullet Punch button. I think he's going to double. He might double. But I take my dick from the table and I put it into my own butt. Because he predicts me. He gets the double correct as I go into Garchomp. And that's going to seal him up the game, barring 2 things. If he's not fully invested Coco, which we don't know, it could have been a high roll the last time this attacked, I could live this Gleam, and I could win this game. He does kill me. It was more than likely a roll in his favor. I don't remember if he was fully fully special attack invested. Now Bullet Punch will kill this. Obviously he has no reason to switch out, because he can just kill me with Chandelure. We do Bullet Punch. We are banded Bullet Punch. So this does roughly 30, 35, under 40% to Shandy. However, if we get a crit here, we will win and move on in the playoffs. Do I deserve it? No. Will I get it? Will I get it? No, we don't. So that makes sense. He does live at like 15%. And we will lose 0-1 to Mountaih and the Immunity Idols. What a game, dude. What an absolute game. I really wish I'd live commed because there was a bunch of plays there where I was there was a lot of 50-50s and there was a lot of plays I could have done better, but also it all came down the way I needed it to come down. I just needed to pull the trigger on that last one, if anything. But the mind games, the fucking 50-50s, the saving win cons, the sacking, all the defense in the early game, it all came down to that last 50-50. This is 50-50-50s, dude. You know, like there's that Adam Sandler movie, 50 First Dates. This is 50-50-50s. So, really, really, really good game to Mountaih. Talked to him a little bit in chat over the after the battle. Really nice guy. We had a couple laughs about the threats of Marowak and Gloom and Guzzlord and all the fun stuff. But he's a really good guy. I highly suggest you check him out if you haven't already. Gotta be one of, if not the best Draft League players that I've seen in a really long time. And I'm really glad that I got to play him finally, because we've been around, but I don't think we've been in a league together other than APA, and we finally get to play, so that's pretty cool. But that does end our APA season, actually kind of conveniently, because UPPA also starts today. That'll be uploaded later tonight. And I think we played a good game. We had a good season. We made playoffs in APA, which is insane because of just, first of all, the sheer amount of coaches in there and the sheer amount of drafts and everything. I think I had a pretty good late. Like, I started off a little bit rough, but the last few games I played, I think I was doing really well. So, really glad I made playoffs. Glad I got to play Mountaih. Glad I got to be with the homies and just have a good time in APA Maine, which is real fun. And, yeah, man, that's going to do it for us. Like, subscribe, do all that bullshit. Like I said, if you want more content from me, UPBA will be coming out. We'll also have a couple little small things planned before Gen 9 comes out. So, check me out, check him out, check out all the rest of the coaches. You know what? Actually, only check out the coaches that made playoffs. Fuck the rest of them. Ha! Got them. I'm totally kidding. Check everybody out. Like, subscribe, do all that bullshit. I'll see you guys next time. Bye forever.